Hello and welcome everybody to Feature Friday. Hi, I'm Jackie Kwan, co-founder of Uplifter, and with me today is Garrett Trod, our product expert. How are you doing, Garrett?
I'm good. How are you?
What's so funny? What
I'm laughing
happened?
at how late you started. I said you. I was like, "We're live. We're live now. Go ahead. We're
No,
live."
no, I just got those messages.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, why is there dot there? What's he waiting for? Oh, are we
That's
live
amazing.
now? Are we live now?
We are live now. Yes.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Sorry about the short technical difficulties. We've been having a few network issues today internally here at the office, but we're doing well, we're doing fine, and we're all here now. Thanks. We're all fine here. Thanks. How are you? Um, Nobody's gonna get that joke. That's fine. Today we're going to be talking about category levels and category level assignments. Now I know that Uplifter in the background does a whole bunch of things for you automatically and allows you to help you track the individuals at your organization. And what we're going to be doing today is taking a little bit of a deeper dive under the hood in terms of how some of those elements work and happen so that you can plan your program setups and your category and category level setups accordingly based on those updates. So Garrett, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, that is exactly right. So category levels and categories, as you may or may not know, all stem from the back end of your system. So that takes us to settings, categories. And on this page here, you will see your categories and your category levels. And today we're going to be taking a look at how to structure these and how to manipulate them to make sure that your participants are being assigned to the correct category level when they sign up for a specific program. So in order to do that, we're going to first do a little bit of a recap of how these items work together so that you have at least that baseline idea so that we can move forward on that. So again, under settings and categories, we will have all of our category levels on the left-hand side, which are the distinct splits in the curriculums that you offer. So for instance, you could see I have different sports here. Most clubs and organizations will only really have one sport, so they'll have, a division of the different levels that they offer. So you might have can skate, star skate, etc., or you might have can gym and wag and mag, or whatever it might be. You'll have those distinct splits. And within each one of these categories, you'll have category levels, which are, of course, the progression through that curriculum as people go through it. And that might be varying depending on the category involved. For instance, basketball here, you can see we really have it based off of ages, but you might have it based off of levels or things like that. Progression, knowledge, accomplishments. You can base your category levels off of the progression through those elements. So once you have those set up, you can then create programs. We're going to take a look at my program here. And in the program settings, you get to select one and only one category, and then as many category levels as you'd like, but you do have to select at least one. Now, if you have a program with that someone is signing up for, the system actually doesn't let users choose what category level they're a part of. So my program here, being all the category levels, when I go to register as a public user, there's no point in which I get to select what category level I want to be involved in. In fact, it doesn't even show me at all at any point. This is primarily because most parents and most participants won't really know what level they're in. This is especially true at the lower levels, the entry levels, where they just want to sign up for Fridays and have some fun. So because of that, you will need to take advantage of the categories and category levels and structure a construct that actually puts people into the right level on their behalf. So let's take a look at that. This is all done through settings, categories. Now, when I am signing up for a program, the system will consider the category levels that are involved in that program. So in a scenario like this, where only one category level is involved, that's easy. The system knows you have to go into level 1. But for lower sort of entry-level programs especially, but even for some of the higher ones, you might have multiple category levels involved. You might have all of your category levels involved. So in that case, the system will look at the involved category levels and make a determination on which one to place your participant into. And the one that it gets placed into, they get placed into, will be then put to in progress, the status in progress. So when we go back to the categories here, how will this all be determined? Well, all of these category levels are involved, and so what's going to happen is the system is going to enter the category level from the top and make its way down. And it's going to review each category level and make a determination on whether or not your participant qualifies for that category level, and if they do, they are placed into in progress in that category level. So let's go through that process. We're going to go to level 1. And if we expand this, we'll see there's actually no requirements or restrictions. So technically, I would be valid for this, and I would be placed into in progress into level 1. Now, let's say this was restricted in some fashion or another. I would then go to level 4, level 2, level 3, level 5, and of course, these are out of order. So that actually presents our first issue. These are out of order, so we're not going to be putting them into the proper order. What might have been worse is if level 4 was up at the top here even. So you don't want to introduce your participants into a category level that starts midway. That seems kind of silly. So what you'll need to do is make sure that the order of these category levels are in the correct order. To do that, we're going to go to the display view. In the display view, we can then drag and drop these. So I do want level 1 at the top, level 3 in the mid, level 4 and 5. We'll go back to the requirements view to save that, and now we have these sorted in the proper order. Now this is a great first step, and that's an important step to make sure that your system is reviewing these in the proper order. They are going to be in the order that you have them in the display view from the top down. However, there's not any restrictions in place here, which means that there are still some openings and some gaps in our logic that might lead to people being assigned to the wrong category level. So what we want to do is then introduce requirements and restrictions. And this is going to be another element that allows us to control who signs up for what level. In order to do that, we need to introduce a requirement group, which is just done from the tools icon, add a requirement group. And once we have a group, we can use the tools icon, add requirement. Now there's all sorts of requirement options that you have. Depending on the tier of uplifter you have, you might have more than some other clubs out there. But generally speaking, you'll have min and max age, gender, category level, etc. Now, what we see here right now with this build, these category levels are what's known as equal or parallel. Right now on the x-axis here, they're all together. Now, in order to utilize a build like this, we need to make sure that each one of these levels has a unique series or set of requirements. So we could introduce different achievements for level 1 or level 2, etc. And in the end, we might come up with something like this, where level 1 has the really achievements. I'm supposed to say really easy achievements. Apparently that's not easy to type out. Really achievements, then the easy, then beginner, then intermediate and advanced. And by having this very distinct split between your categories and what's expected in order to register for them, you've actually made it so the system can make solid determinations on which category level to assign your participant to. So when I come into this category level, oh, you know what, do I have my really easy achievements? Yes, then level 1. Or if no, I don't have those, but I do have my easy achievements, then to level 2, so on and so forth. Now with this type of build, this isn't actually something you'd probably introduce into your system if you have a progressive curriculum. This is the type of build that you might want to introduce into your system if it is something, if it is required that users can be introduced into any level at any time based off of their accomplishments. However, far more common and far more consistently, you will have a progressive category level or curriculum series, in which case you'll need to introduce a very specific type of requirement, which is previous category level completion. So let's go back to our original My Category and let's introduce that. It's very, very easy to do. All we need to do is introduce those requirement groups again, and then drag the previous category level to the next category level. So in order to register for level 2, I want them to have completed level 1. So I grab level 1 and I drop it into the group. And in so doing, we see a tiered or a stepped category level. So these ones are parallel or equal, and these ones are tiered or stepped. And so we can continue to do this by adding the next levels, and we'll see further indentations which demonstrate the requirements, which visually demonstrate the requirements that we're introducing. Now, this is a very, very common way for clubs to introduce a very basic set of requirements that ensure that those who sign up, especially right at the beginning when you're just first using Uplifter and you don't have historical data to rely on, this is a great way to ensure that those who are signing up trickle from the top down. Now, please note that even though this series has now gone from level 1 to level 5, or level 5 down to level 1, it still will actually analyze these levels in your display view order. So if we go to our display view, it's still in 1 to 5. So what you may want to do is actually switch these, logically speaking. So we can do 2, 3, 4. So now we have these reversed. And so what will happen is when someone registers for these levels, it comes in from the top down and says, do they qualify for 5? No, because they haven't done level 4. Do they qualify for 4? No, because they haven't done 3, so on and so forth. And in so doing, you can have this sort of trickle feature where everyone who doesn't have previous or historical data in the system will automatically be placed into category level 1, which is your introductory category level. Now, generally speaking, with your category level, your introductory category level, if that is something you want to include in your category, this will have very, very basic requirements such as age and possibly gender. Other than that, they generally don't have any achievement or accomplishment requirements because you won't have that historical data available to you for a brand new participant. However, as they progress, as they finish level 1, finish level 2, your instructors, your coaches can update the participant profile, mark that those are accomplished or completed, and then the next time they register, the system will do the same thing, and it'll trickle down and say, oh, they have done level 1, so now they qualify for level 2, and now they're in progress in level 2. And that is the best way to introduce a standardized curriculum that requires progression through that curriculum. Jackie, would you like to add anything to our topic today?
Not really, you're very thorough on today's topic. Thank you so much. There's, as an organization, it's really up to you to determine how much of these automatic features in Uplifter you'd like to take advantage of, and it depends on how much you plan on tracking with your different participants in your organization as well. So, depending on what you're using Uplifter for and how committed you are to storing that data, Uplifter has all the availability to store all of that data and make it useful for you. But it's completely up to you as an organization as to how you set up your category levels. We're just giving you a few pointers on how to make the best of it and how those things work under the hood. So, as always, thank you very much for joining us on this lovely Feature Friday. And if you know of any clubs that are looking for different ways to track their information and to register their participants online, please refer and save. So in your administrative section, click on the refer and save link, and you'll see the pop-up, and send an email to any organizations that you think might make great use of Uplifter, and share the information so that you can save a little bit of money for each month, and the organization that signs up also saves a little bit of money each month for the first 6 months. And that's all I have to say. Do you have anything else to add, Garrett?
That was perfect. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. It is a spooky Friday the 13th. I hope you all stay safe, enjoy your weekends, and we will see you next Friday for another Feature Fridays.
Take care. Bye-bye.